Many empires have established world order in the past. However, only a handful of them has managed to become eternal. But, even among these, there is only one winner. An empire to whose superiority no other empires come on par with. Do you know which realm we are referring to? It is no other than the Roman Empire. In its prime at around about 117 CE, it dominated Western politics and society by a colossal margin. The empire also left behind numerous souvenirs, including the contemporary Western alphabet and calendar, the spread of Christianity, and the Romance languages like Italian, French, Spanish, Portuguese, and Romanian, all descended from Latin. But how did the ancient kingdom establish itself in the first place, and what secrets lay in its greatness? Let's explore this in today's video. Founding. Rome is said to have founded in the 9th century BC on the banks of the Tiber River in central Italy by the twin sons of Mars, the god of battle. After being abandoned by the king of adjacent Alba Longa, the twins were thrown into the river Tiber when a she-wolf saved them. The twins then went on to overthrow their brother and create their own city, Rome, on the banks of the same river in 753 BC. But this was a long time ago. Let's move a little forward. Gaius Octavian Thurinus, nephew and successor of Julius Caesar, became the first emperor of Rome after the Battle of Actium in 31 BCE. He adopted the name, Augustus Caesar. Many people mistakenly believe that Julius Caesar was Rome's first emperor. However, he actually only held the title of dictator, which the Senate had to give him because of his overwhelming military and political power. From 31 BCE until he died in 14 CE, the Roman Empire kneeled before Augustus. He reformed the empire's laws, secured the borders, and initiated massive building projects. In addition, he also ensured the empire's lasting reputation as one of the greatest, if not the greatest, political and cultural powers in history. Because of his efforts, the Roman Empire entered into the Pax Romana, a period that ushered in unprecedented stability and prosperity for the next 2 centuries. Succession to the throne rested with Augustus' son and successor, Tiberius, who reigned from 14 to 37 CE. He carried on many of Augustus' policies but lacked his father's moral fortitude and strategic vision. Caligula, Claudius, and Nero's reigns followed a similar pattern. Caligula's early administration was laudable, as was that of his successor Claudius, who expanded Roman authority and territory in Britain. The 2 Roman dictators, however, met their ends at the hands of assassins. Unfortunately, Nero also could not do much either, and his suicide ended the Julio-Claudian dynasty. After this, many rulers came, but let's skip to the 5 good emperors of Rome, namely Nerva, Trajan, Hadrian, Pius Antoninus, and Marco Aurelius. These people are generally credited with bringing about a time of unprecedented wealth throughout their reign. It was the Nervan-Antonine dynasty that ruled Rome until the deaths of Commodus and Lucius Verus. Verus seems to have been rather ineffective as co-emperor with Marcus Aurelius. On the other hand, Aurelius's son and successor, Commodus, is widely regarded as one of the most odious rulers of Rome because he is always portrayed as putting his own vanity before the interests of the empire. Severan dynasty. As a result of Commodus being killed, the Nervan-Antonine dynasty ended, and the prefect Pertinax, who presumably plotted Commodus' death, rose to power. After only 3 months in office, Pertinax was murdered and was succeeded by 4 others before Septimus Severus. Severus established the Severan dynasty, and his broad and expensive operations in Africa and Britain exacerbated Rome's financial woes in the long run. 2 of his sons, Caracalla and Geta, briefly filled his shoes before getting slain. After Alexander Severus's death, the Severan dynasty descended into the anarchy known as the Crisis of the 3rd century. There was a constant civil conflict during this time, also known as the Imperial Crisis, because different military chiefs were vying for control of the empire. Aurelian unified the empire, and Diocletian instituted the Tetrarchy to keep the peace and order. Splitting the empire. Diocletian, in an effort to better manage the vastness of his empire, split it in half in 285 CE, making one of his officers, Maximian, co-emperor. In this way, he established the Western Roman Empire and the Eastern Roman Empire, also known as the Byzantine Empire. Since the lack of a clear line of succession was a major factor contributing to the imperial crisis, Diocletian ordered that rulers have their successors approved before they even took office. When Diocletian died in 311 CE, Maxentius and Constantine threw the empire back into civil strife. Due to his victory against Maxentius at the Battle of Milvian Bridge in 312, Constantine unified the Western and Eastern empires under his rule. Constantine, who attributed his success to Jesus Christ, instituted a set of rules, including the Edict of Milan, that required religious tolerance across the empire, including tolerance for the faith that would eventually be known as Christianity. He established Constantinople, present-day Istanbul, on the site of the ancient Byzantine capital city of Byzantium and renamed it New Rome. He also revalued the currency and restructured the military. His sons took over the empire when he died, but they immediately began fighting among themselves, threatening to ruin his work. After them came a series of other emperors as well, but for the sake of not making this video an hour long, we are not going to discuss them. The demise. We are going to see how an empire so big and powerful came to its knees. While many factors are responsible for this, we will discuss only the major ones here. Edward Gibbon stated in The History of the Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire that Christianity had a key role in undermining paganism's social mores. On the other hand, the theologian Orosius defended Christianity's innocence in Rome's demise before Gibbon. Now whoever is correct between both is up to you to decide. Aside from this, the colossal size of the empire contributed to its destruction too. Even divided in two, the empire's breadth made it hard to manage. Eastern Empire prospered while Western Empire faltered, and neither helped the other. Eastern and Western Rome considered each other as competitors and worked for themselves. Growing Germanic tribes and their repeated invasions into Rome could have been handled more successfully without government corruption, notably among provincial governors, and the Romans' fair treatment of the Goths overall. The Roman military was another issue. Staffed with barbarian mercenaries with no ethnic links to Rome, the army could no longer protect the boundaries or collect taxes in the provinces. The debasement of the currency under the Severan dynasty increased inflation, and slave labor robbed lower-class residents of jobs, increasing unemployment. All this weakened the empire until it eventually crumbled upon itself. But, whatever it may be, the Roman Empire fell with pride. It may have apparently been put to an end, but its legacy will live forever. This brings us to the end of this video. If you liked the video, please consider subscribing and sharing, so we can keep bringing more content like this. Also, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. See you next time.